Brody!
Covering is God's natural.
How's it going? Hi, I'm Jade.
And I'm Dani.
And we are
BaSex. Also, don't be afraid to use, I already said vibrators, but you can also use like there's tongue vibrators or like mouth vibrators or that kind of fun stuff, or fun stimulating flavored lubes, or just have fun with it. Enthusiasm is key. Like, it's one of those like, I get off on you getting off on me kind of thing. Like, for a lot of people, it's like, I really like it when you're getting pleasured, or I really like it when you like me getting pleasured. How do I explain that properly?
I get off on you getting off.
Yeah, like that.
And that's why we try to encourage oral as not being like a chore or anything like that. We want you to have the best stimulation that you can, and it's kind of a mood dampening when you realize your partner is only doing this because you did the dishes. Like, doing stuff like that, it just kind of takes the fun out of it. Like, sure, you want to save it as more of a spontaneous thing, go for it. Just, you know, like, be a little bit more playful with it. The benefit on oral, you don't need the full, like, you don't need to have, like, necessarily, like, what would be the best example? You don't necessarily need that much time for, like, oral. You can have, like, a quickie in the laundry room. You can do little things like that where you don't necessarily need to be fully aware of everything. Some other things that can also enhance on it, too. Flavored lubes, like, for example, like, let's say, biggest thing, I guess, if you have, like, kind of a hard time with salivation, or if you're just dehydrated, like, I know that can occasionally be a mood dampener, but especially if you just have a distaste for vaginal flavoring, or
I called it penis flesh earlier when we were talking about the video.
Penis flesh, like, I don't know, you don't need to go full zombie on your partner. That goes into how much teeth you want to use, but, like, I mean, seminal fluid, ejaculant, anything like that, like, flavored lubes are just going to make everything taste a little bit better and make it a little bit easier on everybody. Again, though, make sure sugar-free lubes, kind of an important thing. Really, any way you look at it, like, you can get...
anybody can get a yeast infection,
yeah.
And you don't want to get that. And sugar feeds yeast and all that. And just like, do yourself a favor, do your partner a favor. And, like, if you want to leeway into intercourse, like, you don't want sugar getting
inside. Yeah, like, for a vagina, that's really a significant thing. Like, it's a weird idea, but technically you can actually even kind of throw off your own pH balance, and suddenly it's not a matter that you're getting a yeast infection, but then you're just a urinary tract infection.
And it's just...
And penis owners, I'm afraid you're not exempt here either. There is topical...
You can get them too.
Yeah, you can get a topical yeast infection.
Just be aware.
Foreskin, yeah,
Clean
like, that's tends to be a big thing on there. But, like, yeah, really, when you're done with anything like that, just clean yourself off. Was there...
Yeah, I have, like, all kinds of things. So, also, I think something that's very important that a lot of people don't think about is that oral does not have to end in orgasm. Don't make that the goal. Make the pleasure and, like, the company and the experience and the bonding situation thingy, that's the goal. It doesn't have to end in a climax, because for some people they just can't climax, and I think that if you do go in like, I want them to climax, you might both end up feeling bad, because it's like, oh, I can't climax, I didn't perform for you, you didn't perform for me, that kind of thing. So just be aware of that. Last thing I want to conquer is the infamous 69. I'm going to be 100% honest. 69 is like a horrible position. Because when you're giving and receiving at the same time, there's no way in hell you can concentrate.
You can't really focus on what's going on.
So you're not going to be on your A game.
But now, at that same time, don't let me throw you off. Like, don't let us throw you off on that. Like, go for the experience, like just kind of
Try it at least once.
But sooner or later, you're just gonna get one person who's kind of like I guess that could be a fun game of like, well, let's say who's better, whoever quits first, like
Whoever stops moving their tongue first
Yeah.
loses. That would be an amazing game.
it just turns into like somebody's the very clear person who's not winning is just trying to hang in there with like a like a very slow.
But yeah, 69. It can be uncomfortable. It can be distracting. If you want to give each other oral pleasure, take turns. Just you're gonna be able to focus better. You're gonna be able to concentrate better. You're gonna be able to move yourself and things better. Words.
Other things that can also help improve stimulation too, like for penile or clitoral, there's stimulants available for like a penis, like any type of penis plumper. Just make sure that it is fully absorbed into the skin prior to oral. For the clitoris, same thing. There's numerous different clitoral products that we've talked about. Tips on like like kind of, do we want to go into like tips real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So like deep throating is something that a lot of just anybody coming in kind of has an issue with. Tips that I try to usually go, I have 3 that kind of pertain to it. The first one would be kind of I guess the like quote easy way out. Like there are like numbing things for the throat. They kind of hit or miss. Like the downside to them, there's not really too many that are tremendously flavorful. Benzocain's just usually the common ingredient in that, and that's a pretty hard thing to cover up.
You can also get like bruising and stuff.
Yeah,
so
like
it's just something to be aware of.
Yeah, like
Go
anytime you're
easy
using
on
any
yourself.
type of numbing thing, just be mindful that if you're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna be a little less likely to notice. Now the other 2. First, an easy one that works for a lot of people. If you just hang your head, like if you're on, that sounds like that's a horrible way. If you hang yourself, if you are lying in bed with your head hanging over the edge, like just having your head at that angle, it kind of opens up the throat a little bit more, and it allows for a little bit kind of more room. Also, the uvula, is that the uvula will kind of tuck and fold back a little bit when it's in that position, so it's a little less easy to hit that. And as a result, it makes it all that more easier to avoid the gag reflex, which for anybody who has ever tried deep throating, you just kind of ran into the problem that you were going to like throw up, or maybe you did throw up, that's that. The last thing, this one is kind of hit or miss. It doesn't necessarily work for everybody, but it is a great tip. There's plenty of people in our store that I've kind of given this one to. For me, I find that it works fairly easy. It's a little kind of stupid trick, but if you actually squeeze your left thumb,
I can't watch. I'm sorry.
it actually turns off your gag reflex.
Yeah. So.
To be honest, I haven't found a very perfect explanation on it. That so far the best thing I've found is that it's like a pressure point thing. But if you ever want to just, I don't know, be an amateur sword swallower, there you go.
Please don't swallow swords. Don't ever listen to Jade.
We do not allow. Yeah, don't do that.
I will say for me, that's like it's not a for everybody thing, which nothing's a for everybody thing. That's honestly one of the things that doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. I have like a super strong gag reflex. Like I gag for toothbrushes. This doesn't do anything. But it's worth a try. So like practice with deep throat. Try it with the thumb, try it without the thumb. Go slow, go easy.
Sorry, that just reminds me of that. I can't remember the Jeff Dunham. Why do I gag on my boyfriend's penis, but not? Or why do I gag when I brush my teeth, but not on my boyfriend? Well, clearly your
bigger.
Yeah, clearly your toothbrush is bigger. Sorry.
Not saying anything about Jade.
Well, you said the exact opposite, so I'm in the clear. I'm at least bigger than a toothbrush.
No, I say
You do gag on me,
a
yeah.
toothbrush.
Okay.
I give up.
I might be the same size as a toothbrush. Bam! Taking it.
Anyway, so to be like, to round everything up, sorry for making such a long video. There's just
A lot of
so
information.
much
And I mean,
to
there's
cover,
even
and we
there's-
didn't even cover it all.
like
Ah.
play with the testicles. Go for it.
Play with the testicles, play with the labia, play with the butt.
Try
play
to
with
hit the
all
prostate.
things. So I think we'll wrap it up there because otherwise we could probably talk about this for hours.
I mean, we did a class in store that was an hour long.
Yeah,
so.
it was at least I think it was a little over an hour. So we'll continue more educational stuff, more oral stuff. If you have any questions or want any advice, we have gotten a couple questions over our Facebook Messenger about oral before, and so that was really exciting. We got a question. It's great.
We
Feel
really
free to
enjoy it when
ask.
you guys
Yeah,
actually
we
ask
do.
this question.
Like, we love communicating.
like, that was just really cool because it's just like people know us. Like, there's people that actually watched us and like took the time to ask us something. That was just really cool.
Sorry, we're
Like-
easily excited.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk more later. We'll see you later. Adios, bye-bye. Like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We will follow you back on Twitter.
Our next oral one, we should talk about that whole donut thing. I think that would be an awesome one.
Donut?
Just talk about like donuts,
Eating the donut.
like grapefruits, like anything you can use during sex.
What?
Okay.
No, okay. Three,
No.
3, 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
What?
I don't know. It got awkward. That was perfect unison of just like.